continuing then with SolarIntelligence, is there something else we can do to reduce your exposure to the municipal energy cost? We saw the different components on the Tshwane bills. So let's look at that again for clues as to maybe there's another way, or another place where we can save a bit of energy. We're going back to the same Tshwane bills that we saw earlier. And here we have it. The number I want to get to is this 15,600 odd rand here at the bottom. That's the demand charge. Again, just to recap, how does the demand charge work? The meter, your installed meter, municipal meter, is clever enough to look at the 30-minute period in that assessment period during which your demand was the highest. That is then pinned as your peak demand, and you pay the cost per kVA, which is some 325 rand odd, times your peak demand. So in this case, we saw there 48 kVA. So you are charged 48 times 325 rand, whatever that number is, 15,000 rand. Here we have it. That's what the cost is. Surely, if there's a way that we can trim that peak down to a lower value, then we can reduce that amount. We cannot escape that amount completely. Tshwane charges 30 kVA, regardless of how much you use. Even if you use 1 kVA peak demand, if you peak demand, your consumption, that's not a consumption, it's actually a power demand. If your power demand is 1 kVA, they still charge 30 kVA. So there's a minimum cost 30 times 325, whatever the number is. So we can't escape that. But at least we can not spend 15,000 rand, we can spend 30 times 325 odd rands. That is called peak shaving. Let me show you how we do that. So with peak shaving, this is again the data, the information from the data logger. The different days of the week, we can see that the Monday looks significantly higher than the rest of the week. These are average numbers. So looking at maximum numbers, so this is a different pivot table, just looking at maximum numbers, we see that the maximums are still the highest on the Monday. At some 58, or we saw on the Tshwane bill, it was 48, yeah. And here we can see the peak is around about 50 kVA. So surely if we can cut the maximum demand 40, we're going to save 10 or more kVA of the peak demand charge. So it'll be 10. If this is the example, we trim 50 down to 40. It's 10 kVA. 10 times 325 rand, 325 rand. That gives us some 350 or 3,500 rand that we can be saving. And that's what we do. We program our battery energy storage system that whenever the demand is more than 40 kVA, that the energy actually then comes from the inverter and it does not actually come from the supply. The nice part is that obviously during this time of the day, the sun is also shining. And if it's not an overcast day, the energy is already coming from the solar panels. It's important to know that if you miss one day, let's say it's an overcast day and you did not have enough battery capacity installed, and on one day the battery is not supplying that 30-minute window where the demand is highest, you've lost the opportunity to trim from 50 to 40 and to save 3,500 rand because you've slipped 30 minutes. So your system must be properly designed and your battery must be big enough to ensure that even on an overcast day, you've got enough energy to supply the demand whenever it goes above 40, that you never go above 40, because whatever you've used the most in 30-minute period, that is what your peak demand will be. That's called peak shaving. Again, SolarIntelligence as implemented by Polymath Solar.
We love the earth, it is our planet.